You're listening to Life with Herpes, and this is episode 13. Life with Herpes podcast. I am your host, Alexandra Harbushka, and I'm excited to be with you today. Before we get into what I'm going to talk about, I want to make sure you're part of the Facebook group. It is a Facebook secret, uber duper secret Facebook group that I have available for this podcast and for the Life with Herpes community. Head on over to lifewithherpes.com. I will send you an invitation. We do keep it by invitation because we want it to be that secret. We definitely don't want, we want to make sure that your integrity is protected, and your friend of a friend of a friend is not going to know that we're talking about herpes here. So again, I just want to make sure that's secret. So go on ahead over to lifewithherpes.com. Okay, so I want to talk about the first time I checked off that I have herpes. Do you remember that time too? Have you been through that? Yeah, so I can remember after getting diagnosed and, the shock, the anger, the fear, the, oh my gosh, how is my life going to change? Who do I need to tell? How do I need to tell them? And at least I went through and thought, well, that's that. It'll just be my little secret. Nobody needs to know. Of course, my past partners knew, and my current partner knew, but I didn't think I'd have to tell anybody else. And I was in a little, just a fender bender. It wasn't, it was, a little bit of a fender bender. And I went to the chiropractor, and they, as a new patient, and the chiropractor had me fill out things, and they asked about medical conditions, and herpes was on there. And I can remember sitting there with the medical form going, do I check it? Do I not check it? Do I check it? Do I not check it? I don't know. Do I check it? Like sitting there going, oh my gosh. And the doctor was my age too. So it's also like one of those things. He was a friend. So I was like, oh my gosh, he's going to know. Well, will he tell anybody? But he's a doctor, so he can't. But what if he does? Well, I don't know. And I know what this feels like, because you start playing that voice in your head of going, should I tell anybody? I don't know. Well, do I lie? And I am big on not lying. I mean, that is one of the things that I pride myself on. I do not lie. My mother was a kindergarten teacher, and so she was very adamant about not lying. Same with my father. He's very adamant about not lying, so I was raised to always tell the truth. So I remember sitting there going, do I lie? Do I not lie? I'm like, well, it's not really a lie. It's a white lie. It doesn't really affect anybody. And I thought to myself, no, you can't lie. And the truth is the truth. And another good quote I always can remember, I was in the mortgage industry for a number of years, and people would try to lie on their applications to say they had more income than they really had, or their income was coming from another source that didn't really exist, or whatever the case may be. And at the end of the day, after the loan application, the truth always came out. The truth always comes out. And that's something that I also can remember when I was sitting there in the doctor's office going, do I say yes or do I say no? And I thought, you know what? I can't lie. And the truth will always come out. And I would rather perhaps suffer the embarrassment of having the doctor look and see that I have herpes, and maybe have him maybe be scared to touch me, or not want to touch me, or not want to adjust me, than potentially, I don't know, him finding out somewhere along the line that I had it. I don't know how he would find out, but again, the truth always comes out. I can vividly remember that. Again, I was really nervous to do that. And then, you go for your next I don't know about your dentist, but my dentist always asks, I've been going to the same dentist since I was 7. So they've seen me grow up, and they always ask, the hygienist will ask, well, what medication are you on? Have there been any health changes since your last visit? And again, I can remember sitting there going, oh my gosh, do I tell my dentist? Like, do they really need to know? Should they know? How does that really affect them? And do I want to tell them that I'm on the Baclocyclovir? Oh my gosh. And I thought, yes, I have to, because when you take drugs, right, which is an antiviral, you don't know what chemical, your body is a periodic table. You're adding chemicals to your body, and you don't know what your dentist is going to add, and you just don't know if there could be a reaction. I doubt there could be a reaction from taking something that's so common that all of us have taken with outbreaks at some point in our time. But I just want to be sure. I wanted to be safe. I wanted to make sure that I was covering my due diligence and always telling the truth and making sure that the people that are taking care of me knew that, because it also is important for them to know, do I have oral herpes or genital herpes? Well, in my case, I have both. And so the dentist needs to know that I have oral herpes. I mean, they're in my mouth, right? They need to know what type of medications I'm taking. So then I can remember going to, and I know, well, in my case, one of the reasons why I was nervous to tell the chiropractor is he and I were friends. We were personal friends, and I had not seen him professionally. So it's interesting when you mix a friendship with a professional situation and you get nervous to share your private information. So I remember that being nervous. And another time I went to the optometrist, and again, I was like, oh no, are they going to ask? And they do. And again, I thought, all right, by now it's my 3rd time sharing it, so I was okay with it. But same thing, you just don't know. And you don't know if the medication you're taking has any long-term, you just don't know what long-term side effects or benefits or anything that we always talk about side effects from taking medication. They don't have to be negative. They can also be positive. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, in conclusion, to kind of bring this full circle, is yes, it is fucking scary to tell people you have herpes. Yes, it is scary to write down and have that questionnaire and go, I got to check this off. Shit. And then you go back in your mind of like, what was I thinking? Or should you tell yourself that story, whatever that story is. I should have never slept with him. I never should have slept with her. He was cheating on me. She was cheating on me. Oh my gosh, I'm a slut. Oh my gosh, whatever that is. And none of that is true. The fact is that that's the story you tell yourself, and you work yourself up into marking a little box. That's all that it is. It's a little box, and it's there for your protection. It's there so that the people that are taking care of you can know how to best treat you. And that's why it's there. Now, I don't think anything of it. I just check it off and keep going. I do understand that it does bring up that humiliation factor. And medical professionals, especially when you're going to the doctor, whether it's the OBG, family practice, whatever it is, they are educated to assume that everybody has herpes and that everybody has an STD. I wouldn't worry about the judgment factor because that is their job. They see it all the time. But I do know that it is that like, oh my gosh, they're going to know. What do they think of me? And you just have to understand and look at it and know that that question is there for your protection. It is there so they can best treat you and know how to help you, and know and know what type of medications to give you or not give you, or mixing, you don't want to mix medications without your doctor knowing. So all those things. So what I'm trying to say is check off that box. Check off the box that you have herpes. It is confidential. It is with a doctor. And don't look back. All right. So thanks so much for tuning in today. If you have not downloaded the ebook that I have written, it is the 9 seldomly used but incredibly powerful over-the-counter herpes remedies. Go check it out. It is awesome. I use it. I go back and look at it and go, oh yeah, I forgot about this remedy that I use, that I haven't used, that I forgot about. You know how sometimes like you forget something is so obvious. It's like, oh, I have a headache. Oh yeah, I should probably take a Tylenol. It's like I go back and look like, oh yeah, I should use number 9 or whatever it is that I liked the best that I haven't been using. So check it out. Like I said, I wrote it, I use it, I love it, and it's free. So go to lifewithherpes.com, download it, check it out, and I will see you all soon. Thanks so much for tuning in, and remember, check that box. All right, bye.